Hello, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Farmer Big Z, and welcome back to episode 20 of my challenge series on Mars the Mission. We picked back up here in November, and the first thing I want to do is I want to put that silage additive in this baler, but maybe I'm too far. Do I need to unclip these? And that's too heavy for me to move. Maybe I'm just too far. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, let's do this. We'll shift over just a little bit, pull that trailer out, and come at it from the other side. Yeah, hopefully that's far enough. I don't want to have to come back and adjust a little bit again. Huh. There we go. But like I was saying, welcome back to episode 20 of my challenge series on Mars the Mission. Today we picked back up here in November, and not much, I shouldn't say not much, but we don't have anything crazy and wild to do, just a little bit of field maintenance. I'm also going to give a little recap and a little progression of how we are doing so far in our challenge. But yeah, that's that. Of priority today, we have to plow all of our fields. We don't need to, but I'm going to. One of our fields need to be plowed, and I just decided to get them all done at the same time with the help of Marty. So I'm going to do that. I'm also going to have to stone pick those, and then we will also... What's that thing I need to do? Check my notes. Oh yes, lime and spray herbicide around our edges. Last month and last episode, we got to harvesting. We harvested one 15-acre field of corn, and that brought in roughly 125,000 liters. And then we went along and we harvested two more 15-acre fields, and, which I forgot to record, the sunflowers that were in the chicken dome. So those three fields, the two 15 acres plus the one much smaller field in the chicken dome, got us to around, and I'm dragging this thing. I do not need this thing. This baler can just hang out here. I need to go back and grab the trailer. Our trailer and our forklift. So yeah, we harvested 125,000 liters of corn and 155,000 liters roughly of sunflowers. So that brought us up to roughly a quarter of our way there. If I can pull up this map real quick, a quarter of the way there for sunflowers, which was pretty good. And then we're just shy of a quarter for oats. We're essentially at a quarter for wheat. And corn is still coming along, and that will need a bit more to go before being able to call it good. Yeah, today outside of plowing, stone picking, liming, and spraying herbicide down, we're also going to sell our oats, not our oats, our honey, and our eggs. I'm going to start off with the eggs because I think that will be closer to being full, and then we'll tackle the honey in a second. We do have Marty already plowing up on the upper strip, and he's doing a good job. No complaints about Marty this episode. Oh, we still have a little bit of room to go. Okay, that's not too bad. I don't think I left myself enough room here, but it will have to do. I will make do. Let's just drop this ramp down, get our forklift unstrapped, and let's pick up some eggs. What's the best way for me to get to these? Will that go any smaller? No. I think the other forklift that I like does. Oh, but it should be small enough. Yeah, that will work. Okay, so let's grab those. And then we're just gonna rinse, wash, and repeat this for both of these chicken pens. And I'll be right back with you guys in a quick second after I get this all loaded up. Just a little light tap here, don't break any eggs. Okay, so we have our eggs all loaded up. Not the prettiest, but I've definitely done worse, so I am a-okay with this. Let's raise this all the way up and not run into our gutter system. But let's raise this up, spin this around, and let's go sell some chicken eggs. So yeah, we have just over 33,000 liters of chicken eggs. I guess I can just say eggs. There aren't any other chicken, or there aren't any other egg layers on this map. So we have 33,000 liters of eggs. Let's take a peek. Let's go this way. And we'll take a peek on how Marty's doing, and we'll also see how our beehives are doing. Oh wow, Marty's actually... Is he done? I haven't got the message yet saying he's done. Maybe he's wrapping up that last little strip. Beehives, honey is still looking pretty good. Where is Marty? That is the question. If he's done, although I might have missed the message. Oh, and there it is. Finished work. Perfect. And there he is. Okay. So before I get too far, let's actually see where is the best place export to Earth. Oh, wow. Wait. Oh, there we go. Still pretty good. 83,000 if we do it in November. Oh, it is November. Sweet. Before we get too far, let's pop out of here. And let's get him over to his next field. Maintenance on him is looking decent. I should be able to finish this month off without any real issue. And let's create a job for him. Yeah, not too bad. No more weeds. Got some stones, which we should be able to use, or we will be able to use, as lime down the road. But let's see, we are essentially broke. Few thousand in the bank. Let's see how much we can get this all up to, plus our bonuses. Our environmental score bonuses. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. So let's call it 93,000, 62.8 plus 10.5. Yeah, just over 93,000, including our environmental score. So I do consider that a win. Especially when you're not selling any of your crops from harvest. You tend to go broke, or you tend to appreciate any money you receive. And that's a good chunk of it there, so we'll pull over and we'll kind of rinse and repeat the same ordeal with the honey from the beehives. We do have 4 beehives, and I can't remember when I put them down, but they've been going for a while, and it was able to get us to almost full. So we just have to keep thinking to ourselves, we're going to have at least 3 times, 4 times. I guess we need 5 times, exactly 5 times, 4 by 5, 20. We need 5 times this amount of beehives, and they will in turn produce honey 5 times faster. So this might become a monthly unload. But let's unload this and let's get it all loaded up here on our flatbed. Now, whenever possible, I do like to... Oh, my forks are still way up in the air. Whenever possible, I do like to combine or lift as much as I can in one pull. But sometimes these crates can get a little heavy. Let's see. And up. No, that's not gonna work. Let's see if we can manage a 3 stack. 3 stack is manageable, so we'll do that. Ooh, no! Oh. Okay, well, I'll have to figure something out. I will get the rest of these loaded, and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay. Last few crates. Let's see if I can put those here. And just give myself some room to squeeze this forklift onto the bed of this trailer. Ooh. Yeah, I can do that. There's plenty of room. What am I talking about? Make a little bit of room here. Oh. 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 Huh. Got myself in a little bit of a predicament. Okay. Whew. Let me do it backwards, see if that helps. Now this is just like driving a car. Wheels are pointing the right steering direction to what I'm used to. Ooh, but now it's all reversed. There we go. Okay, now let's make sure we get everything strapped down. I don't know how this tractor is going to handle pulling all of this. It's quite a lot of weight, but we'll get it done. Okay, so 1,400 liters of honey coming up. Let's take a look at these prices. Honey, honey, honey. Okay, not bad, not bad. I could hold it till March and get an extra 4,000, but I'm pretty content with nearly 25,000 here. $24 plus 3, 27. Cool. And Marty is doing a great job over there. Plowing away. Okay, so the 2 money makers for the month are done. Task complete. Now, what do we need to do? We need to start stone picking. Yeah, stone picking. Let's drop off this flatbed trailer and let's start stone picking in behind Marty. We'll start, of course, on the upper strip, make our way down. We'll keep pushing Marty south as he finishes up those fields, and I'll just keep running stones back and forth. There may be the time or two that I'll have to obviously unload my stones into the line production facility, and maybe even depending on how many stones come up, I might also need to take a short break and grab some water to fill up the line production and to get that started, just to make some more room realistically for any more stones that are produced. Yeah, so I'll get that done and I'll be right back. Yeah. Okay, and we've completed stone picking on our 2 most north fields, the upper strip and the middle strip. We've kind of caught up to Marty. He just has 2 quick passes to do, but it's 3:30 and unfortunately the sun is starting to set, so I've kind of forgotten that I do need to go and mow some grass so that it can be baled, ferment over the next month, and then be ready to sell as silage in the month of January. So I'm going to pick up this last little bit here, and we're going to go do some baling. I am going to leave this here though. 43%, that should be enough to get me around, definitely around the block, around the lower strip once. It should also allow me to do maybe 1 or 2 extra strips before needing to come back down to the stone crushing facility and get that dropped off. But more importantly, we have no rush on getting these fields topped up, and then in the months of December and January, maybe even February, there's not going to be much to do. So I'd rather get this grass cut now, have it ready to ferment, and then sell in January. So we're going to get this done. Now while we get this done, I'm going to do a little bit of talking. See how this goes if I can concentrate and talk at the same time. I wanted to give you guys all a little update on our mission. And not really an update, but more so of a recap. So we're about 2.5 years in. I believe we started in April of year 1, so now that we're 2 years plus roughly 6 months. If I'm doing my calendar math properly, we should be about 2.5 years in. Now, that's still plenty of time left to go, and I think we're doing well. But for anyone that's joined the channel late and that missed or just haven't seen any of my earlier videos, which I definitely recommend you go check out. They may be a little rougher than some of my newer ones, and my newer ones still have some improvements to be made and quite a ways to go. But if you haven't seen some of the setup, especially episode 0, I want to give a little recap and set the ground as to how I'm running this challenge. So first off, on my challenge, and I will say my challenge often, my challenge is being done me, myself, and I plus 1 autonomous robot, which I've named Marty. I'm not going to have any other helpers, so in reality, I only need this tractor, Marty, and my combine harvester, and I guess eventually a root harvester, so my potato harvester, and a forage harvester. But that being said, and the way I say it that way is because I'm always going to be doing something. There isn't really going to be a moment where I have a fleet of people, a big team of workers getting things done while I either do nothing or get something done as well. Realistically, it is just me and Marty. Although I haven't done much roleplay in this series like I thought I would, and as I start my YouTube journey, I am learning how difficult things are sometimes. But as I start, there are other people technically on this colony with me, like there are NPCs or whatnot, and I might try to incorporate them into my storyline a bit, but realistically, once again, it's just me, myself, and I, plus my AI robot, Marty. Outside of that, if I can press these buttons properly, outside of that, I wanted to talk about my fleet of equipment and machinery. So I started off with $2 million, and essentially, like I showed in episode 0, I essentially bought the equipment I wanted. I got to that $2 million number by essentially loading up a game and selling all the vehicles that Farmer Bob, the creator of this map and this challenge, provided for us. So after I sold everything, I was left with roughly $2 million. And that is the starting budget I gave myself for vehicles. From there, I went and I bought essentially what I wanted. Sometimes I use John Deere's, sometimes I use Cases. I haven't really used any of the other brands, especially as like my main brand of choice. And I do like to keep all of my tractors and machinery the same brand as much as possible, or something matching. So if I'm mowing outside of these mowers, I tend to use Krone because they have a great mower, and in that case I also tend to use either a proper Krone baler, or I paint my quick baler or any other baler I use some type of Krone colors, or at least a complementing color, maybe just gray, because gray tends to go with a lot of things. What I still need to buy though, although I've spent essentially all, I think I had like 13 or 48, I think it was 48,880 or something like that. But essentially I sold everything, and I bought the equipment that I wanted. From there, I still need to buy a few things. Like I said, the potato harvester still needs to come, and of note as well, the forage harvester with the forage harvest attachment. Now, what I plan to do, and let me take a quick pause while I just get Marty spun back up. What I plan to do, and one of the things that I got in my air quote recruiting message, was as I operate this farm, as I operate this mission, any profits that I make from farming essentially are going to be carried on to my next mission. And since I've spent the allocated budget that they provided me, $2 million, anything I make additionally, anything I purchase additionally, I technically own. So I will own the potato harvester, I will own the forage harvester, and then it's up to me if I want to sell it or bring it back down to earth as I finish my mission. So I'll be able to have some extra dollars in the bank from that. I know I need to pull up what am I doing here? I know I need to get a potato storage facility of sorts, and what am I doing? Cancel, create job. Oh, no. There we go. But when I do that, nope. When I install the potato storage facility, that's going to be reimbursed because they are going to need it. Now, something else I did that's a little different is I chose my 6 crops kind of from the get-go. And although they are changeable, I'm not married to the idea of the crops that I have, especially as money or time kind of ticks down and I get closer and closer to my 20-year deadline. These 6 crops I've chosen are wheat. I can unstuck myself. The 6 crops I've chosen are wheat, oats, sunflowers, corn, and then soon to be in the future potatoes and sugarcane. I think it's a good variety, a good diversity of fruits and vegetables, and a good source of almost everything and anything you might need. You can use wheat to make bread and other cereals. Obviously, oats on itself is a great cereal. Potatoes are a good starch. You can eat them with any meat you want, and I'm just kind of gaming some of these things out, but you can use sugarcane to obviously make sugar. And yeah, my tractor is in need of repair. You can use sunflowers as either sunflower oil or a snack, and I've said this once before, so I'll try not to repeat myself too much. And then finally, corn. Corn is corn. It's used in a ton of things in real life, and you can turn it into some simple, good snacks as well. So with everything there, I feel like it was a good balance. I know that potatoes are, and most root crops are high yielding, so I didn't want to go with just a ton of high yielding crops. And on that note, something else I kind of had the mentality of going in is I didn't want to add many fields outside of the ones that were provided, the 15 that were provided by the map creator. Although I've slightly modified these fields a little bit combining most of them together. They are essentially the same size that they were when I first started. Let me just fold that one up. I'm good there. Yeah, so they're essentially the same size, and I'm not adding much acreage outside of making this area here. Outside of making this area here grassland in the pig dome, sheep dome, and cow dome, and then adding a small field into the chicken dome, there isn't much additional field land created. I did it that way just because I believe the challenge is doable with the 15 fields that they provided. The only reason I did add these fields were to kind of speed things up a little bit. Now, mind you, everyone can play the game how they want, but I feel like if you are looking to kind of call this a challenge and see if it's doable, turning all the Martian dirt into fields, you'll definitely complete the mission. Without a doubt, I'm confident in the 20-year limit that the map builder set out. So those are the fields. I don't plan on making any more fields. The only other thing I'll have to do is decide exactly where I want to put my trees. That kind of leads me to the next point. I've changed up a little bit of the requirements for a successful mission. Farmer Bob set out 800,000 liters of 6 crops, 10,000 trees, and then a combination of animals. The animals to me are unchanged. I haven't modified or dropped down any new animal pens, and those ones are quite simple to hit. Realistically, like I've already hit my chicken requirement, and I'm barely 3 years in. So with the animals staying the same, the only thing I've modified is instead of going with 800,000 liters of 6 crops, I decided to up that a little bit to 1 million liters of 6 crops. I did that just to balance out the fact that I didn't want to plant 10,000 trees. 10,000 trees is a lot of trees to plant, and although it is a relatively simple thing, you can plant them all technically in the first month or the first year, and you're done that part. So I considered it something more of a money constraint, and then I did the math on it using the vanilla default trees that you could buy from the shop. I think 1,000 trees roughly cost $50,000. So by reducing the cost of, by reducing how many trees I'm planting, the only thing I'm really doing is reducing how much money in the end I'll end up spending on trees. The other reason why I decided to cut down my tree limit was because I'm pretty sure there is a limit to how many trees you can plant, and then additionally, once you start planting a ton of trees, it does start to affect your computer performance, your game performance. So I was like, you know what, 1,000 trees is still plenty of trees to plant in a way, and that's just how I'm going to roleplay it, with the balancing of needing an additional 1.2 million in total, but an additional 200,000 liters of 6 different crops. So that was that. Some of the things that I've kind of wasted some time, not really money, but time doing was in the map setup. I modified a few things here and there, and I put down what do you call that building? A new silo, just something large enough to hold my new crop requirements. But that also led me to kind of start getting air quote creative. Wasn't that creative in reality. And I put down some food mixing bins, one outside the pig pen, which I might actually use. But then I put down 2 buildings outside of the cow dome, the TMR mixer, which has been completely unused because I'm just tossing bales directly into the auto feeding robot. For some reason I thought, and maybe I'll be wrong, but for some reason I thought I would need to top up my TMR a lot more than I have so far. Mind you, I don't have many cows now, but even if I had 6 times the amount of cows, I don't think the amount of food they'd be eating would be anywhere near unmanageable on my own with the auto robot feeder. So that was a bit of a waste of time, a bit of a waste of money. The only other thing I put down is a fermenter, and the fermenters don't take bales, so I'm a bale guy. I like bales. You can move a lot of bales in one quick swoop with a bale trailer. But if you have a loose grass, silage, whatever type of trailer it may be, it ends up being a lot of trips because you can only hold maybe, let's say, 60,000 liters. But if you can hold 24 bales, and each of those bales are 7,500 or 11,000 liters, then you're holding way more product, way more crop in a bale and on a bale trailer than you would in a bin trailer, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's kind of the recap. Once again, it's just me, myself, and I plus Marty, and we have a slightly modified challenge ahead of us. But I would love to know. Good, I didn't hit that. I would love to know if you guys are doing this challenge. How are you playing it? For me, money is quite tight often, and once again, you can play the game however you choose, but how are you playing? Do you have unlimited money? Are you making your own fields? Are you using contractors or whatever it may be? I would love to know down below in the comment section. I'm 20 videos through, and I've learned a lot so far. I would hope, I believe, that my editing and that my gameplay is getting a little better, a bit more agreeable to posting videos on YouTube. I'm saving time, if not anything else. But one of my favorite or my best parts about making YouTube videos for Farming Simulator so far has been, I don't want to call it a community yet because I don't have many people, but there has been a few people commenting in the section down below. One of them in particular, Chris Farms Virtually, I believe I'm saying that correctly, has been a great help. And there's 2 things that he's taught me, or that he's reminded me of. One of them I can remember, the other one I can't. The one thing that I can remember, we spoke about it recently actually on one of his videos, so if you are watching this type of content, I would definitely recommend you checking out his videos as well. But when I was setting up my map, I couldn't figure out how to get any buildings within the dome, like within this cow dome, chicken dome, sheep dome, or pen or pig dome. And that's because this dome structure is kind of considered a building on its own. And if you know anything about Farming Simulator, you can't put buildings in buildings very easily at all. So I asked him how he managed to do that on his video, and he just let me know of the trick. He used Object Hider, I believe it's called, and it's a mod that I have. It's just something I've never thought about using in that way. But you are able to hide the dome itself. You're able to hide the dome itself, put down and install what you need to, and then unhide the dome, and everything should work out properly. I'm considering, not completely sold on it yet, but I'm considering putting manure, like a manure pit somewhere down here, maybe in this area, perhaps, not sure yet. And that might come in use in handy. So once again, I'll stop rambling on, but yeah, if you would be so kind, if you are enjoying the content, to consider subscribing, give the video a like, and leave any comments, questions, or concerns down below. This video is not done, so I am not doing an outro, but I would love to hear from you guys as how your farming is going. If you are doing this challenge, how is the challenge going for you specifically? And once again, if you are doing the challenge, how exactly, what type of rules are you doing with the challenge? Are you doing it straight up as close to the map creators like outlines, no extra equipment, no extra money, whatever it may be, or what? So yeah, let me know. I'm gonna get this mowing done. I always hit that edge and I always have to go back and get it. But yeah, I'm gonna get this mowing done, and hopefully there's enough daylight to finish up. Maybe no, there's not gonna be time. I'll get to the rest of that stone picking another time. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, and we are done mowing and baling all of our silage. Now I know that silage additive doesn't do a huge increase and that it's more so subtle over time. But I think we only got one extra bale. Yeah, one extra bale compared to what we typically get. So I think that was 35 bales, or maybe even the same amount of bales. I'll have to double check. But that is done, and we are done for this episode. I didn't put a reference bale in there once again, just because it is November and we'll be selling these in January, so there's plenty of time for them to ferment. But we have 36 grass bales. Yeah, that's the same amount as before. 36 grass bales. Hopefully we can make some good cash money from that. We can see that we'll get roughly $160,000 in January once those hit their peak. And if we add, let's say, an additional third of that price, so that's 160, that's another 180,000. Oh, we are making milk now. That's good. Okay, but sorry, focus. So 160 plus a third, that's another 80, so 240 from silage, another, call it 110. So 350 from straw. We're going to leave the hay as is. So yeah, that's going to be, unless I'm missing something we're going to sell, that's going to be another plus $350,000 into the bank account shortly. That will put us near 480,000. And let's see how much some of these new needed equipment cost. So potato, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use this one. So that would, ooh, okay, we're getting somewhere. So that would give me enough money to buy our potato harvester and most likely the header. And then if I wanted to buy the forage harvester instead, that is more money. 450. I have to figure out which one I want to get. But we will have to wait and see. This is going to be the end of the video. As always, if you guys got this far, I want to say a huge thank you. And if you are enjoying the content, please consider subscribing and giving the video a like. It goes a long, long way. My name is Farmer Big Z, and I will see you all in the next episode.